told T.I. he should have kicked that boy when last year. If T.I. would have kicked that boy last year, that boy wouldn't have had to jack him up today.
Charleston White just dropped the bomb on King Harris for disrespecting 50 Cent, and it's not what you think it is. White is standing with 50 on this one, and King is on the receiving end. In this video, I'll be telling you everything White has said about King and what it entails for the young rapper. The beef reignites. The question at the center of this whole situation is straightforward. What happens when somebody's son jumps in a decades-old rap beef and brings up a dead woman to ride for his living mother? That is what went down in February 20th, 26. And it started the way most things start in hip-hop, with old smoke that never fully cleared. 50 Cent and T.I. have had it out for each other since 2007. During a Hot 97 interview that year, 50 Cent questioned anybody calling themselves the king of hip-hop, and everybody knew that was a shot at T.I., who had crowned himself the king of the South after dropping his 2006 album King. Sitting down with Angie Martinez, 50 asked who decides that, the fans or the rapper? T.I. took that personally, and when 50 pulled up to T.I.'s Screamfest stage alongside Jay-Z and Kanye West later that year, the tension had a face and a name. In 2008, T.I.'s federal gun case wrapped up with a one-year sentence when he was facing potential decades, and 50 Cent hopped on G-Unit's You So Tough, rapping about the math not adding up. 10 machine guns, 12 months. The bars were saying what everybody in the hood was whispering: snitch. T.I. never let that go. In September 2010, T.I. and Tiny caught drug charges. Possession resembling ecstasy. Tip did 11 months for violating parole. 50 Cent got on the internet questioning why Tiny ain't take the fall for her man. T.I. addressed it in a 2011 Vibe interview, shutting all that down. Said nobody in his family was going to be pressured into catching a case for anybody, and anyone suggesting otherwise was a coward, straight up. They squashed it in late 2011 through a phone call set up by mutual homies. 50 told Vibe neither one of them asked for the call. It just happened through people they both rocked with. For the next several years, it was quiet. The beef went to sleep, but it never died. Starting in July 2020, on 50 Cent's 45th birthday, T.I. called him out for a versus battle on Instagram. He told 50 to pull up with 20 records and get this work. 50 laughed that off, posting that somebody passed Tip the same weed they gave Smokey in. Friday, T.I. kept pressing, went on Hot 97 and told Ebro they were similarly stacked, said there was a 900-pound gorilla inside him. By September 2020, T.I. was demanding a date, calling 50 a young baboon face, while 50 was trolling back about T.I.'s beard and asking where his Trap Museum exhibit was. They chopped it up behind closed doors about doing it while they were moving around Los Angeles selling shows together, but nothing materialized. 50 told The Morning Hustle in 2021 that once people got out the house, the whole Versus format stopped making sense. T.I. even pressed him on stage at the September 2021 BMF premiere after party, telling the crowd to put pressure on 50. Fifth stood there, grinned, and did nothing. Then February 2026 pulled up. On February 6th, T.I. hopped on the Nightcap podcast and brought the Versus talk back, saying 50 was ducking smoke. Said he originally wanted Gucci Mane, but switched to 50, and 50 wasn't trying to get down. 50 slid back the next day by posting old Crime Stoppers footage and a clip of T.I.'s 2008 testimony from the Felent Johnson murder case, captioning it with a warning to keep his name out of conversations. He tagged T.I. King Rat. By February 12th, after dropping a King Rat comment on a T.I. and Kevin Hart video, T.I. came back swinging, told 50 he had the paperwork on him, called him soft, said he lost all respect. On February 22nd, T.I. sat down on $1 million worth of game and aired it all out. Said they had already shook on a Versus while doing shows in LA, and 50 backed out. Said it made him question 50's whole character. That same day, 50 Cent posted a janky photo of Tiny Harris on Instagram, telling T.I. to stop saying his name. T.I. hit the comments calling 50 a said it didn't matter what picture he posted, 50 was still beneath him. And then King Harris slid into the picture. King, T.I., and Tiny's son, about 21 years old, jumped on Instagram with an expletive-loaded rant writing for his mama. He brought up 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed in 1983 when 50 was only 8 years old. King told 50 to go dig her up, posted a tombstone image with the caption, "This where your mama at." Said his mama was a legend, told 50 to put some respect on it, told him to post a picture of his own mother, then reminded him she was in the ground. 50 Cent's mother's death, widely reported as tied to a drug overdose, is one of the most well-known traumas in hip-hop. He has chopped it up for decades, described it as the thing that shaped everything about how he moves, and now a 21-year-old had turned it into an Instagram post. That night and the next day, T.I. dropped War, a warning shot talking about a hibernating bear that shouldn't have been poked. a sleeping giant that shouldn't have been woken. He followed with The Right One, going at 50's legacy, questioning why 50 never had that energy for the white boys and only came for his own people. Then came Lessons, with artwork showing a skeletal 50 Cent from his All Things Fall Apart role. T.I.'s sons jumped in the trenches with him. Damani dropped Ms. Jackson, flipping an Outkast sample with Burning House artwork, a whole open letter dressed as a family statement. King dropped Say Less, a video where he rocked a shirt with 50 Cent's late mother's face printed on it and sparked a blunt pointed at the image, rapping about mamas in the grave. Rick Ross co-signed on site, commenting he wanted King's shirt in a 3X, a public stamp from a man who spent over a decade looking for ways to line up shots at 50. 50 Cent did not drop a single bar. He compared King to Pepe the Frog, turned the whole rant into a meme to make it look goofy, posted a childhood photo of King with a God Don't Like Ugly caption. When Tina Knowles reposted the tiny photo showing love, 50 came back with a Tina photo and a Solange elevator gif, writing that things were getting weird. Kids, grandmothers, everybody in the mix. He wiped beef posts from his page and wrote, "I'm out of here, you guys hurt my feelings," then handed out what he called the stupid award to T.I. before going ghost. And then, right in the middle of all this chaos, Charleston White pulled up. Charleston White's reality check. In late February 2026, across multiple live streams and social media posts, Charleston White delivered his verdict on King Harris's rant. His core message was as blunt as a brick through a windshield. T.I. should have taught his son to stay out of grown people's business. He called King's involvement some young boy overreach, a shorty inserting himself into a war between two OGs who had been going back and forth for nearly 2 decades. But White did more than just run his mouth. He posted a photo of T.I.'s deceased sister, matching the energy of the mama for mama dynamic that King kicked off. His logic was simple. If King could drag 50 Cent's dead mother out the grave and into an Instagram post, then nobody's family was off limits. Nobody's. He called out what he saw as a blatant double standard. The same people gassing King up for disrespecting a dead woman were coming at White for doing the exact same thing with T.I.'s people. White positioned himself as a real one with an opinion, not some random clout chaser looking for views. He pointed out that if T.I. was truly plugged in as a father, then King's behavior was a direct reflection of failed parenting.
And King is behaving and going on with these kind of actions and inactions and traits and characteristics.
And in that same stream, White went all the way in on what those traits actually signaled about King's trajectory, about his upbringing, and about the household that produced him.
Of a delinquent, criminal-minded boy, then you are up and you and failing as a father, tipster. Clifford?
He called T.I. tipster and Clifford deliberate, disrespectful choices designed to strip the rapper of his whole persona, his mythology, the whole King of the South aura. White also claimed he had been rocking with 50 Cent and G-Unit behind the scenes for years, saying he'd been placed in G-Unit songs and had been in contact with 50 privately. He described himself as a natural tag team partner in this situation, someone 50 could call on because the relationship was already solid. In live streams, he said flat out that he had been working with 50 Cent and was rocking with 50 till the wheels fall off.
He got the best rapping in it. Tell T.I. I got it the best diss song he can have right now. Boy, can't find no better diss song.
White was not just watching from the bleachers and commentating. He was campaigning for a spot on the active roster, openly telling 50 Cent to tag him in like a wrestler waiting on the ropes, with his hand reaching out.
I'm on the set of 50 couldn't activate it. 50 Cent tried to say don't nobody activate T.I. like I do it. You're tippy toe.
He said 50 tried to activate T.I. but couldn't get it done. White believed he was the only person with the tools, the history, and the reckless disregard needed to truly get under the Harris family's skin. And based on the volume of responses his post generated, he might not have been capping. But who is Charleston White? And why does his voice move the needle in a situation like this? White is a 48-year-old comedian, motivational speaker, and social media personality from Fort Worth, Texas. At age 7, he lost his right eye in an accident. Childhood trauma that shaped how he navigated the world from a real one who understood family loyalty and calling it transparent opportunism from a man who had his own 10-year reasons to take shots at 50 and would have co-signed anything that wounded his rival, regardless of how sacred the imagery was. Ross's involvement also raised a question the culture couldn't dodge. Did that shirt, a piece of merch featuring a dead woman's photo, worn in a music video by the son of her son's op, represent a new low in beef culture, or just the logical endpoint of a genre that has always treated treated personal pain as raw material for content. Meanwhile, T.I. was converting every ounce of this chaos into promotional fuel for Kill the King, his self-described final album, and doing it with the precision of a veteran who had been in the game for a quarter century and understood exactly how to turn controversy into commerce and smoke into streams. The lead single, Let 'Em Know, produced by Pharrell Williams with a Hype Williams-directed video, dropped amid peak beef activity and climbed the Billboard Hot 100 to roughly number 43, his highest solo chart position in over a decade. The visual featured whips gliding through Atlanta and Miami, a Pharrell cameo lending legit production credibility, and Young Dro ad-libs that connected the new tip to the old tip in a way that felt both nostalgic and combative. T.I. confirmed his retirement plans at the 2026 Grammys, framing the album as his definitive closing statement after 25 years, a career-capping release that would not exist in its current form without the oxygen the beef provided. The smoke gave the music life, and the music gave the smoke structure. It was symbiotic in a way that would have been cynical if it wasn't so effective. The timing was not accidental, and the coordination was impossible to miss. Every release was calibrated to the drama cycle with surgical precision. T.I. dropped War the same night King's rant went viral. Bars about a hibernating bear that shouldn't have been poked, delivered with the urgency of a man who had been waiting for exactly this provocation. The right one followed the next day, questioning why 50 only had that energy for his own people. Lessons landed within the week, accompanied by that devastating skeletal artwork of 50. Then came additional snippets tied to the Kill the King cycle, each one timed to the news like a promotional calendar designed by someone who knew every headline was a billboard and every comment section was a focus group. Damani and King released their tracks within days of each other, and even T.I.'s What Bully joined the rotation, targeting 50's history of punching down at smaller names while ducking anybody who might swing back with equal force. The Harris household had transformed itself into a full-scale content factory running around the clock. Industry observers, including DJ Academics, compared the beef to Drake versus Kendrick in terms of cultural weight, though the comparison actually highlighted how lopsided the situation was. Drake and Kendrick traded bar for bar. T.I. and his sons dropped track after track, while 50 responded with absolutely nothing on wax. The musical output was overwhelmingly, almost comically one-sided, which either proved T.I. was running the scoreboard or proved that 50 had found a way to dominate a conversation without contributing a single note to it. Depended entirely on what your definition of winning was. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.
Okay, you guys. So, we know that 50 Cent and T.I. have been going back and forth for a while now, and it looks like 50 might be taking things to a whole another level now. What am I talking about? So, Tasha K alleges that 50 Cent is working on a documentary about T and Tiny. So, Tasha went on Twitter and claimed that she spoke to sources who are allegedly connected to 50 Cent's team. And 50 is putting together a documentary specifically about T.I. and Tiny and all those drug and SA allegations that have been floating around. So, for those of you that don't know, T and Tiny have been dealing with accusations for years now. Now, multiple women have come forward claiming that the two of them would drug them and SA them. Some alleging they were taken to different locations against their will, which is where the trafficking allegations come in. Now, there was even a civil suit filed on T and Tiny in 2024, but it ended up getting dismissed. Now, T.I. and Tiny have denied everything from the jump and have always maintained their innocence. But the allegations never really went away. Now, just to be clear, 50 Cent has not came out and confirmed anything yet about the documentary, but we already know how he does. You'll know he just dropped a documentary about Diddy, and it was all behind the beef that they had going on. And we know he was the executive producer behind the Netflix documentary Sean Combs' The Reckoning. So making documentaries about people he has an issue with, like I said, is right up his alley. Now, if you're not caught up on the 50C and T.I. beef, it basically started over a versus battle. So 50 allegedly backed out of a versus battle against T and T felt disrespected, and it just escalated from there, and T.I.'s sons King and Demani even jumped in. Now, King jumped in after 50 Cent posted an unflattering picture of Tiny. So, he took to his IG stories and talked about how 50 Cent needs to dig up his dead mama. Not only that, the Money dropped a diss track. And I have to say, I didn't know the Money was that talented. But he has a lot of talent. Okay, but he dropped a diss track also talking about 50 Cent's dad mama. So, my thing is, I don't think 50 Cent will let something slide, especially talking about his dad mama. I mean, he has done worse for less, aka referencing back to the Diddy documentary. So, The real question is 50 Cent really about to drop a documentary on T.I. and Tiny? Now, we honestly don't know yet because again, we have to wait for him to say something or Netflix or whoever, but we already know if he does drop this documentary, y'all. It's gonna be real messy, okay? Because we know 50 Cent goes very deep. Now, if I have to roll the dice on this, I would say he's definitely dropping a documentary because 50 Cent has been way too quiet. He hasn't posted anything else. He deleted everything that he had on his page regarding T and Tiny and even King. So, it really makes me wonder what does he have up his sleeve because we know that 50 Cent does not wave the white flag. Okay, he does not stop. So, if I had to guess, we're gonna be having a documentary before the year is up. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Do you think 50 Cent is going to be dropping a documentary very soon? Do you think T.I. is a little nervous about this possibly happening? But y'all let me know what y'all